Hello, and welcome back to the MIST Application Guide. Once again, this is Ryan Eller, the MIST Program Coordinator for the Instructional Science and Technology program here at CSUMB. And so we've already completed the first quadrant of the application, the personal information quadrant, and now we'll work through the academic history quadrant. A pretty simple one in this application, okay? So you'll select it, you'll jump into your colleges attended, and really for the sake of completing this application as easily as possible, I would only recommend filling in universities that you obtained a degree from, or universities where you have significant transfer credits from. In my case, I only attended one university, so I'll show it as if you had only attended one university, but naturally, if you've attended more, you would fill this out multiple times. So in my case, I was a graduate of CSUMB before completing the MIST program myself. And so I'll scroll down and find Cal State Monterey Bay. And then I'll naturally note that, yes, I've completed my degree, which is a requirement for admission. Now, obviously, if you are an in-progress applicant, which might be relevant to many of you, you would just select a degree in progress, and that would let us know when you plan on earning the degree, okay? In my case, since it's already been earned, I would go ahead and just detail what it was. So it was a Bachelor's of Arts in essentially English. Let me go ahead and pull up English, or in this case, I'll just pick education for the sake of filling this out quickly. If you were a double major, you would click that you were a double major and then provide what that second major was, but for many of us, we weren't. And so then we would just, once again, let us know roughly when the degree was earned. Okay, so I completed mine in 2012. And then if you had a minor, you can include it. Not incredibly relevant, though it might be helpful, specifically you have some type of graphic design background, video production background, or education background. A minor there might be helpful in just letting us know that you have some of those skill sets that are in our program, you're bringing them in already. So it's always good to have that, okay? If you attended the same university multiple times, you can click this to add another degree. So if you have a bachelor's and master's from the same university, beautiful option here to save you some clicks, and you can just fill in your second degree's information right there. From there, you'll let us know if you had a quarter semester or trimester style of class delivery. Here at CSUMB, it's semester, so I would click that. And then you'll go ahead and let them know, let us know here where your first semester roughly fell in, and then when your last semester fell in. So as you can see here, pretty simple. We have a fall and spring finish. So that's essentially what I will fill in here really quickly. And then we will move on to the next one. And obviously, if you're in progress, you would just click check if you are still attending this college or university. Okay, so very simple section there. And you can do this as many times as needed to fill out all of the universities that you attended. As I said before, primarily pick institutions where you had a significant amount of time spent there or where you completed your degrees, okay? From there, you'll want to do GPA entries, so you would add GPA per school. And this is kind of nifty that it will do some of the work for you. So in my case, for my undergraduate degree, I believe I took 120 credits and my GPA was a 3.8 roughly. And you can, theorize a little here. We're going to use your transcripts to get the official number. So this just gives us some input in terms of roughly where your GPA was at, okay? And then lastly, you would fill out your standardized tests. And so our program does not require any standardized tests except in two instances. So firstly, the only time, for example, that the GRE would be required would be if you had a GPA under a 2.5. We don't necessarily require the GRE, but it's recommended, especially if you have a very high GRE score. This helps build the case as to why you are, even though you're not meeting the GPA requirement, where we can maybe potentially petition for you to have that waived. Okay, that's one option. The other big one is for tests of English. So if you are a foreign student or have a student with, or you're a domestic student with foreign documents, i.e. a foreign transcript, then you're required to prove English proficiency. In many cases, how students will prove this proficiency is through either the international, the IELTS test, that always gets me there, that test, or the TOEFL test. Some folks will take the Pearson test of English, but those tend to be the most popular ones, most specifically the TOEFL test. Okay, so then in that case, you could add the standardized test. But even if you do have all of these test scores, you don't necessarily need to report them here if you have a copy that you're going to upload later. So in most circumstances, I'm going to recommend that you click the I am not adding any standardized tests, and boom, just like that, you're done with the second section. So this will take a little bit more time depending on how many universities you've attended, and also depending on your either foreign or domestic university background. But in most cases, this section can be filled out in just a few clicks. So best of luck on this section, and we'll see you again for part 3.